Good morning, Sault Ste. Marie. I'm here to start the show. Tim's got to drink his hot coffee. He's been freezing all morning. I don't know what it is. It's not that cold outside.
I'm not outside. I'm inside. I wasn't cold outside. I wasn't cold till I came in here. Look at that,
getting embarrassed in the first 30 seconds of being back. Welcome back.
It's like David Letterman's studio in here. It's very cold. How come you're not cold?
I got you, Tim. Don't worry.
Happy National Underwear Day.
Oh, right. We're supposed to wear our clean bras and panties. That's what the description today of the national calendar told us. So, if you were ready for your X-rated morning show, congratulations, everybody. You got exactly what you were wishing for.
Alex and I are wearing bras and panties. Well, it's nothing new for me. It's also National Oyster Day.
Do you enjoy oysters?
You've never had an oyster?
I've never had an oyster before.
Why?
I'm uncultured, Tim. That is why.
Ooh, like pearls? Cultured pearls? Oysters? Pearls? No, not all oysters create pearls.
So, have you had an oyster?
Of course I have had an oyster. I've had oysters of many varieties. I've had smoked oysters. I've had oysters in the half shell that you swallow them like
that does not sound like an appetizing sound.
Well, that's how you have to. You don't chew them.
Oh?
No.
Okay, why not?
You swallow them like a big hork.
Oh, that is not the way to sell it to me, Tim.
Look at the picture. Look at the picture.
Okay.
See that? And then you can put a little like hot sauce in there or whatever, and they can have them like floating in wine or champagne or absinthe or something.
That looked disgusting.
Well, no one says they're pretty.
But okay, well, like give me the texture. So it's just like a slime, then I guess.
Yeah. It's a bivalve mollusk. It's a mollusk.
A bivalve mollusk.
Bivalve. I guess they have two valves. Bivalve. Bivalve.
Oh, okay. When you're telling me about a food you want me to eat, describe it by how many valves it has.
There's 5 varieties of oysters, and there's over 100 species.
Which one tastes the best?
The ones that go down fastest. They don't really see. The thing is you add the flavor around
you spice it.
Yeah.
But the thing is like when I eat a food, I don't want to have it described to me as it'll taste better the faster you eat it. That doesn't sound like. Oh, give me more of those, please.
You can cook with them. They boost your sex drive. They are high in vitamin A, B12,
50 oysters, please,
and zinc. They help your immune system. They help clear up acne and rashes. They give you strong bones. And the shells are high in calcium for plant and soil health, so you can use them. Look at the variety of oysters. You can do oysters Rockefeller.
So
you can dress them up. What? No, you don't. No. You compost the shell for your plants in your gardens.
Gotcha.
Because they're high. So anyway, where can you get? Somebody said you can get oysters at JC Secure. Did you say that, Audrey? Mm-hmm. So you should try one.
Okay, I will. I do often venture.
Or you could probably just go to like Rome's, your independent grocer, or someplace, and they're on ice there.
Just go to the lake, get them fresh.
We don't have oysters here.
No. And if we did, I would not venture.
I wouldn't eat an oyster out of this lake.
Why not? Fresh water.
It's down there, sediment.
Yeah, true.
Hundreds of years of steel plant sediment on the bottom of the riverbed. That's why you're not allowed.
Well, you said you have to spice it yourself, right?
Do you know that the water in the St. Mary's River is fine because it's coming through Lake Superior? It's the bottom that's the problem.
So that's what you need to know about National Oyster Day. Are there any other days today?
I told you it's National Underwear Day.
And Oyster Day?
It worked like a dog day, but I didn't write that down.
Oh, not on a holiday. We aren't working.
It is a holiday today. Monday. Happy holidays for those of you who are. Oh, there's Underwear Day. Yeah, it's a holiday for those of you who are fortunate enough to take the holiday.
Yeah, and that's
unlike my friend Alex and I.
And we will work hard like a dog for you today. We promise. We promise you, Craig. We will work hard today.
You talk in the news about Justin Trudeau being at Vancouver Pride?
Yes, as well as Elizabeth May of the Green Party and Jagmeet Singh of the NDP Party.
Who was missing, Alex?
Mr. Andrew Scheer of the Conservatives.
Really?
His whole party said from the beginning that they weren't going to do anything of the sort.
Trudeau made a statement. It's just unfortunate that there are still some party leaders who want to be prime minister who choose to stand with people who are intolerant instead of standing with the LGBT community. But moments later, he actually mentioned Mr. Scheer by name and said, I really wish Andrew Scheer were here today. And he's talking about how the message that it sends out is to youth who are struggling, being bullied, whatever, that they're supported. So, but he didn't go.
Especially with everything that's happening in the world.
My friend, he's a playwright, Canadian playwright, and he's from Edmonton. Where's Andrew Scheer from?
I'm not sure.
Anyway, Brad Fraser swears that Andrew Scheer is a closet case.
Exclusive takes early
I'm
mornings.
just saying. You can't. Go ahead, sue me. Go.
Yeah, right. Come on. Tim, you'll crush him.
It's hearsay.
You'll take him down if he tries to sue you.
Maureen McCormick. Know that name?
Maureen McCormick. I know it because I heard it today this morning when you said it just now.
The Brady Bunch.
Okay. Yes, I actually do know this. Okay.
She was Marcia.
Okay.
Marsha. Maureen McCormick turned 62 years old today. Happy birthday, Maureen.
Happy birthday.
Interesting that the series that just ran for that short period of time has just lived on forever.
Just such a cult classic now.
And I saw a thing recently about the Property Brothers. You know those two brothers? They're twins, right? And they're doing an episode of something where they actually reunite with all the original Bradys.
Oh.
All 6 of the kids.
Okay.
And they go to the house. Because the exterior of the house was not the real house. Like when the Brady Bunch house was an actual house, an exterior of a home
and
somewhere.
Shot in a studio.
And then they created the interior of the house in a studio.
Okay.
So what the Brady Bunch did with the Property Brothers is that they all got together at the actual house. Like the real, that house there. There they are, see?
Right.
And what the scoop was, the Property Brothers were going to turn the inside of that real house to look just like the house they did on the...
No way. Do they have enough square footage of the house and everything?
No, I haven't seen the episode, but I'm going to watch it because I used to love to watch the Brady Bunch on Friday nights. Or maybe Saturdays, I forget.
I wonder how much that house would go for.
Oh. In
7 digits? Oh wait, where is it?
It's in California.
Oh.
Let's go for a lot of money.
8 digits?
I don't know. 10 digits. R. Kelly has pled not guilty in a New York courthouse.
That's a surprise. This hasn't been ongoing for 20
charges.
years, 30 years, 60 years.
Because he's up for charges in Chicago against child pornography.
Just spin the big R. Kelly wheel of what he's being charged for this time.
5 victims in New York.
The word child will definitely be.
They say he's a high risk for flight and a danger to public safety, so he's been denied bail. So he's charged with recruiting young women and girls for illegal sexual activity, and he made them call him daddy.
My kids are not going to be able to call me dad. They're going to have to call me something else. The word has been destroyed.
His defense has created a new thing now.
Okay.
Why this has all happened to him. Groupie remorse. They've coined the phrase. In other words, these girls were groupies and they would do anything to be with him, and now that they're bitter because it didn't last beyond the initial contact, and so that's why they're coming out against him, because they were groupies who actually put out of their own free will, and now they're remorseful, and so they're suing or whatever.
There's a YouTube channel that I watch that dissects people's body language and stuff when they're being asked hard-hitting questions and stuff. They had an episode on R. Kelly. Ooh, that man's a liar. Ooh, that man's a liar. Good luck, man, but I don't wish you any good luck, actually, and I hope you get what's coming to you.
I hope you get what's coming to you. It's awful. I mean, maybe he could share a cell with Jeffrey Epstein, the Trump guy, friend of Trump's.
Changing the page.
Go right ahead.
From one stupid criminal to another. You know how much I love my stupid criminals.
I do.
I mentioned this on Friday.
The bank robber one was the best, for the guy who went to the DMV first, then robbed a bank and handed them the note with his DMV information
with his name
on the back
and address. This is up there. This might even top it. So there was a Brazilian gang leader, and he was in prison. His name is Clavino Silva, or Shorty is his nickname. So what he wanted to do is he wanted to escape this prison in Rio de Janeiro. So he had a master plan.
Oh, did he?
I'll wear a silicone mask that poorly represents a human. I'll wear a wig and a pink t-shirt, call myself my daughter, and I'm going to walk out of that prison. Jacob's got the video of the guy getting taken off all of his stuff while he gets caught. So his nervousness gave him away, and his end goal was to leave his 19-year-old daughter in the jail. This is him getting caught right now. Imagine how embarrassing that must be.
Shorty looks like he's 12. How old is this? Oh, that's the mask. Wait a second.
And look at the embarrassment.
Oh my gosh!
And his plan was just to leave his daughter in that jail while he walked on.
So she was in there and he was gonna leave her?
I don't know how we got the mask. I don't know how we got the wig.
She probably brought them in.
So
he was gonna leave his daughter in his cell. Well, then they would have released her. No, she would have been an accomplice to his escape. Or maybe he would have tied her up and said, "I'll pretend that. Look at me making up stories."
Wow.
Could write a movie.
Have you ever escaped prison before?
No.
You got some good ideas there, Tim.
I never have. This was a sad day in history, Alex.
Oh, why?
Marilyn Monroe was found dead in her bed today. August the 5th, 1962, her housekeeper, Eunice Marie, found Her nude and face down, surrounded by pills, with her phone in her hand. Suicide. Born in 1926, Norma Jean Mortensen.
Norma Jean.
Goodbye, Norma Jean.
Oh.
Did you not know that song was about Marilyn?
I did not know that.
Elton John's song, Goodbye, Norma Jean,
Oh.
was about Marilyn Monroe. There she
is.
is. Yep. And in 1954, she married Joe DiMaggio.
Yes.
That lasted for 8 months. And then in 1956, she married playwright Arthur Miller. She divorced him about a week before the film, her last film. I think she started filming her last film, and he was the author of it, I believe.
Oh
and
my
she divorced him just before. Anyway, the conspiracy theory is, because that she had affairs with both Robert Kennedy and John F. Kennedy. So the conspiracy theory is that she was offed.
Done.
Because she was going to spill the beans on stuff that she knew about them. But that's Eunice Murray, that housekeeper. 20 years after the fact, Eunice said that Bobby Kennedy visited and argued with Marilyn on the night of her death. But her testimony was deemed unreliable.
Steamy scoops here.
I know. I got some steamy scoops for you today.
Ooh.
So Fringe Festival starts this week. Thursday, the 8th, is like the launch of the Fringe Festival. And so we have a lot of very talented performers coming from all around the world to Sault Ste. Marie to perform their shows as part of the Fringe Festival. I Skyped with one of the performers.
Yes.
We'll be airing that this morning to get a little insight into her show and information on that. And Josh is back from the Downtown Association because I think we've got more parties going on in the month of August.
We do. Quite a few more coming up.
And what are you doing on the show today?
Come on, Tim. Lou's not here. I'm doing the news.
Right
Always.
on. Okay, so we'll be back with the first interview right after this.
I need to find home care for my dad. My husband can't find a job. Our fights hurt the kids. When you don't know where to turn to 211, the helpline to community and social services in 150 languages. 211 is free, confidential, 24/7, and answered by friendly specialists. Dial 211 or search 211ontario.ca. 211 helps people find the right community and social services. 211, when you don't know where to turn. Supported by United Way, your local community, and the governments of Ontario and Canada.
Imagine knowing about incidents, closures, and roadwork all before starting your trip. Ontario 511 lets you know before you go. You can get real-time information directly from the Ministry of Transportation. Because the more you know, the easier it is for you to go. And spend the time doing the things that matter most.
They served to protect our homes. Now many are homeless. They fought for our way of life. Now many are fighting personal battles of their own. They answered the call for our country. Now we honor them by serving our communities. Help us help Canada's veterans. Become a Legion member today.
Welcome back to Mornings with Lou Ann and Tim. It is Monday morning here in the studio, although I'm recording this the week before. Via Skype, joining me from New York City, please welcome Sofi Lambert to the show. Hello, Sofi.
Hi.
Hey, today is the birthday of someone named Maria Anna Mozart. She was born in 1751 on this date that we're recording this interview. Am I right?
Yes, absolutely. You're right.
And you're coming to Sault Ste. Marie to perform a show based on the life of Maria Anna Mozart. How come they called her Nannerl?
It's a nickname. It's a good question, actually. It's just, it's the name that the father and Mozart used to call her. So it's the name that we found in the letters.
So this was Mozart's older sister, Amadeus Mozart's older sister?
Yes.
Okay,
she is 5 years older than him.
Tell me, we'll get to your story in a little bit, but first of all, tell me the story of Nannerl Mozart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So she's 5 years older than Mozart, as I said, and she studied music with the father as Mozart did. And Leopold discovered that he has two prodigies, basically two very talented kids, and he decided to tour in Europe with his children. So Nanel was there with Mozart when they started to tour, and she was very successful and had like really great reviews back then. But at the age of 16, being a woman, she needed to stop. She could not perform in public anymore. It was not proper for a woman to do that. So unfortunately, she needed to stop. So therefore, she never were able to pursue her music career. So we discover her story through the letters, the Mozart family letters. Like most of her letters has been lost, but Sylvia Milo, who is the creator of the show, was able to recreate Nanel's story based on the letters from Mozart and from his father.
So, it says here humorous and heartbreaking. So,
yes.
Really?
I don't know if you know, but the Mozart were pretty funny. And Mozart has, he loved to make jokes about fart and little things, like little, I don't know, like if you read a little bit about him, he was pretty humorous. And so he was pretty young also. Some of the letters are really funny, but some are really heartbreaking.
I did see that, what was the movie based on the play? Was it Amadeus, right? That was a Broadway play that became a film. And I definitely recall what a character Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart was. So how long is the play, Sophie?
It's a 1 hour, 15 minutes.
This is a one-woman play?
Yes, it is.
You're all alone on stage, and you perform this in both French and English.
Yes, I'm Canadian, so I have to do it in both languages.
Now, and your performance of the French version of the show on August the 12th here at 6 p.m. at Central United Church will be the Canadian premiere of the French version of the play. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. I'm so excited about it.
Well, we're pretty honored to have that happen here. Your background, Sophie, you hail originally from Montreal?
From Quebec City. I'm born and raised in Quebec and moved to Montreal to study.
Okay, and you studied theater in Montreal.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your studies. You've got quite an interesting background in theater studying.
Yeah, I mean, I was doing theater from a very young age, but I kind of came back to it like a little bit late. I moved to Montreal to study in graphic design, which I did. I studied I went to university and studied graphic design.
Yeah.
But then, I wanted to go back to theater. So I started to take on the side some theater class, and I discovered that it was more important to me than I thought it was. So I discovered the Miss Meisner technique, and I found this amazing teacher who was teaching back then at the neighborhood playhouse. So I studied with her, and then she recommended me another amazing teacher. So I went to London for a month and studied with Jack Walter from the Actor Studio, and I follow him to New York, where I
you live now.
I'm still here.
So for people who don't know, Sanford Meisner had a technique in acting that was based basically on repetition, where you use repetition to get yourself to the point where your emotions are freed up, you get out of your own head space, and it allows you to get really to the root of the what would you say, the emotion rather than the words?
Yes, exactly. So,
and you mentioned two schools, Neighborhood Playhouse and the Actor Studio. They are, for people who don't know, those are two of the most prestigious acting schools in New York City. So you've had some amazing training, and it's paid off. You've performed in other fringe festivals right in New York City, correct?
Yes, I did a few years ago now, I think 5-6 years ago, I performed The List, which is a French-Canadian play that was translated, and I performed another one-woman show. And I performed it at the New York Fringe Festival, where we were awarded the best solo performance for that play. And that also led me to participate into the Mexico San Miguel Fringe Festival, where I performed also The List.
Now, what I found interesting was you're currently living in New York City, and I've seen your bio, and you've done professional performances of French language plays in New York City. I was surprised to read that. But
yeah, it's interesting. So in New York, there's an audience for French plays. There's like Francophile, but there's also like an interesting, quite decent community of French speakers.
See, I had no idea.
Yeah, no, and also like with a bunch of other actors, French, Canadian, and Quebecois, we have a lot of connection in Quebec and a lot of friends that are very talented, and we want to. Sometimes we bring plays in New York, like French Canadian plays in New York, perform it in French and sometime in English, sometime in both, and then so that's the first time that I'm gonna do the opposite. You know, like working on an English American play and then bring it to Canada instead.
Excellent. And do you get it? Do you translation is something you also do? Is that correct? For of
here and
works?
there, I did adaptation for the other Mozart, but generally I help when I do like voiceover for commercials. Like sometimes I'm saying you cannot really say that in French, but
okay. So just to review now for the audience to know, you're going to be performing at Central United Church at Stage 2. Mm-hmm. Your dates are August the 9th, 7:35 p.m., August the 10th at 6:30 p.m., August the 11th you have a matinee at 1:30 and an evening performance at 7 p.m., and of course that infamous French language performance of L'Autre Mozart on August the 12th at 6 p.m.
Great, yeah.
So I look forward to meeting you because I'm going to be at the Fringe performances. I love the Fringe Festival. It as I say, it launches on, I think you're all getting together on the night of the 8th for some sort of a celebration.
Yes.
But then the opening is on the 9th. And it's basically a week and a half long festival. So there's performances right through, I think, until the 18th of the month. You're going to be, Sophie, I think you're the first guest we're featuring on Mornings with Luann and Tim, who's an artist performing in the Fringe Festival. So thank you for joining us from New York. I know you have another appointment to get to.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you in Sault Ste. Marie.
Yeah, see you in a week.
And once again, it's Sophie Lambert, the other Mozart, at the Fringe North International Theatre Festival. All the best to you, Sophie. We'll see you soon. And
yes, absolutely.
We'll be back with more Mornings with Luann and Tim right after this.
That he fell.
Whoa, I'm not driving. I'm way too stoned. How are you feeling, Beer?
Oh, since we had that talk, I'm not driving tonight at all.
What about you, Dave?
You only had a couple of drinks.
And only a couple of puffs.
I don't drink and drive. No way I'm getting behind the wheel when I smoked weed, too.
How are we getting home then?
Well, you can drive, Dave.
Come on, Dave.
Take one for the team, buddy.
Don't let weed and alcohol influence your decision to drive.
Yeah, I need a ride.
I am a mother, and I am a sister.
I'm a father.
A wife, a daughter. I'm Somali lady.
I can very proudly say that I'm a teacher.
A social worker.
I'm a human being.
I have a dream
to be free.
And I wish we live in the world full of peace.
Adoptions create families. Are you thinking of adopting a child from an orphanage or your family in India, Bangladesh, Jamaica, Guyana, or any other country? Let Worldview Adoption, a government-licensed agency with 15 years of experience, help. Parmjeet Mongat and Associates are experienced in handling all adoptions cases, especially relative adoptions with complex immigration issues. For a relative or orphan adoption, domestic or international, call Worldview Adoption for a consultation today.
It's not always this obvious when young people need help. For 30 years, we've shown up for youth. With your donation, you can too.
I asked Alex. First of all, hi Casey, security. They take care of you and me. You know that peace of mind is a matter of choice?
It's so nice you'll say it twice.
Casey Security is sponsoring our show again. And we just are so thankful to you guys because without you, we're nothing. And in this community, we're not safe without you, Casey Security. They do everything.
We need them.
Do you know, okay, ready for this?
Okay.
Did you know that they'll do things like watch your house while you're away and water your plants and stuff?
I knew the first one because
they will actually like water your plants while they're like taking care of your house. Cottages. They do cottage routes, absolutely. Private functions, if you're having a wedding and you need security for your liquor license. For your businesses.
They could stop at the status quo, but they go as far as watering your garden.
They are community-minded, KC Security. They're a local family business. There's so many reasons. So many reasons for your security needs to contact KC Security. I said just before we came to air, do you know the name Sunny Leone? And you said
I'd heard of it.
And I said that's because she's a porn star, and that she was. And you said I don't know where she's from.
I don't know where she's from.
She's from Sarnia, Ontario, but she moved to India and she's a Bollywood star. And you said,
well, I went to school for TV, like how to get into the TV field and all that fun stuff, and they taught me that. Don't go do porn, like don't film it, don't go in it, because it's really, really hard to get out. So I said, look at that. For all you kids out there, you keep dreaming.
You can do porn and still go out the other end.
Keep dreaming. Don't let that flame die out.
That doesn't sound right. Anyway, Sunny Leone.
Kids are sleeping. It's a holiday. They're not watching.
She was a porn star in the U.S. for about a decade. She's from Sarnia, Ontario. Now she's a Bollywood star. She plays a lot of sexy roles in the Bollywood films. And her most recent film, she was the most searched entertainer in India in 2017. Sunny Leone. Go figure. Anyway, there's a new film out, and she uses an actual phone number in her film.
Her own phone number?
No, not her own. Some poor man. I believe his name is Paneet Agarwal. He gets over 100 calls daily now looking for Sunny Leone because she used this phone number in her film. Now, how... Alex is going to enter the phone number in his... Sunny Leone, apparently... Oh, have they not heard in India? Stop it. Have they not heard about the 555 thing? You know?
You start a phone number with 555.
There's no area code in the world that's 555. It's an international fake area code you can use in film.
Well, I mean, Bollywood.
So now the guy's like, you need to change. He says to the producers, you need to change this phone number, and there's no response from them. People are saying, you change your number. He's like, no, what is my number? It's tied to my.
I own it. I paid for that number.
Tied to his business as well. You see, so it makes it difficult for him. So anyway, he gets phone calls till 4 a.m. He says, and he said some people are getting mad, angry. When he says she's not right number, no.
Business is booming though.
So now he has another tactic.
Okay.
He says she's in the bath. She can't talk right now. She's in the ball.
I've called her for 6 years straight.
Honestly,
she's never left the bathtub.
She's pruny. That's why she doesn't do porn anymore. She's all wrinkled.
She looks like a raisin.
Yep. So. This is neither your hair nor mine. I have no idea. It's too long for you, and it's not.
Here it is. It comes from right there.
Okay, what's next? The news.
The news.
Okay, Alex has the news coming up.
Okay, I have the news coming up, so you're going to watch it after this commercial break.
Could your voice go any higher?
Yes. Okay. See you then.
Recently, the Government of Ontario established a $100 million affordability fund to help Ontarians who don't qualify for low-income conservation programs ease the burden of their electricity bill. Whether you rent or own your home, as long as you pay your electric bill, you could qualify. There are 3 levels of support available. The first is a home energy kit with upgrades like smart power bars and LED light bulbs. The second includes Energy Star appliances that help keep things cool during the hot summer months. The third is for electrically heated homes so that your power bills don't break the bank during those long Canadian winters. Plus, all upgrades, including installation, are completely free of charge. Visit affordabilityfund.org or call 1-855-494-FUND to find out if you qualify.
When you support the Restore, it helps Habitat for Humanity build affordable housing for families. How does this work? New and gently used goods are donated to the Restore. The sale of these goods generate funds for building homes. For every $1 spent at the Restore, there is a $4 return on investment within our community. For example, Habitat homeowners have better educational outlook, increased employment stability, improved health, and reduction in the use of social services. Every donation and every dollar we receive through the Restore helps build sustainable housing for future homeowners. Everyone needs a foundation to build a future. To find out more and how you can help, drop by the Restore at 32 White Oak Drive or go to habitatsioux.ca.
The discovery of a damaged boat near the Manitoba town where 2 murder suspects were last seen has prompted an RCMP dive team to join the search. RCMP said Sunday that the aluminum boat had been spotted Friday on the shore of the Nelson River by a search crew using a helicopter. An underwater recovery team arrived in Gillam, Manitoba on Saturday and was deployed to check out significant areas of interest on Sunday. Gillam is the last location confirmed to have been visited by Brian Shermelski and Cam McLeod, who are sought by police in connection with 3 homicides in northern BC. Lucas Fowler and China Deese were found dead July 15th on the Alaska Highway. The body of Leonard Dyack was discovered 4 days later near a burned-out vehicle. There was a confirmed sighting of 19-year-old McLeod and 18-year-old Shermelski on July 21st in Meadow Lake, Saskatchewan. The vehicle they were using was found near Gillam on July 22nd, having been destroyed by fire as well. Police have received a number of tips about the locations of Shermelski and McLeod since then, although they have not been able to verify any of them. A large-scale RCMP search of the Gillam area began to be pared back about a week ago. The small, remote nature of Gillam has only 1,200 residents and only 1 road connecting it with the rest of the province has led to speculation that the suspects may have attempted to escape the area on foot or via boat rather than remain in the setting where they would eventually be identified. Tractor enthusiasts congregated at the Prince Township Community Centre on Saturday morning for the 8th annual Tractor Cruise. This event took drivers from the Prince Township Community Centre to Grocap and then back to Boots and Saddles and has been a community staple since its inception. ONNtv was there to check out the action.
I used to drive a tractor when I was 10 years old. Plowing the driveway in a rural setting and brings back memories. It's lots of fun.
Well, we do it because it's to bring the heritage back. Prince Township is a farming community and not very many big farmers now. Lots of small hobby farmers with horses and that. And we do it to get so that people around the area or whoever wants to come for activities, something to do.
We started the event, it would have been 8 years ago. Before that, a couple buddies and I would go for lunch 3 times a year at Boots and Saddles with our tractors. Just a fun time going for a ride in the old tractors. We decided we're making an event out of it. This is where it's brought us to today. Well, we've added more smaller events along with it. This year we had the bouncy house. Just every year I had something different to it, change it up, keep keeps the crowd different. This year I'm looking around, we're seeing a lot of different people with tractors, people who have never participated before, which is always nice to see.
Well, it's getting bigger every year. We add to it every year. We add more tractors. We're hoping about 50 tractors this year. We have, like I said, we have a bunch of old antique display steam engines, and just some people to look at.
Sue Whites helped support the local MS Society on Sunday afternoon during their annual car wash for MS. This car wash, held at the A&W near Industrial Park Crescent on Great Northern Road, is part of the Burgers to Beat MS campaign A&W holds annually, as well as the MS Society's annual car and bike show taking place at both A&W locations on August 22nd. ONNtv cameras were there.
So today we are hosting an MS car wash to support MS and tie in with our Burgers to Beat MS campaign and our car show, which is August 22nd. Here's doing our car wash, and we're hoping to raise money for MS to support our campaign. We also have our bake sale and our movie night tonight. Our movie night's 8 to 10 tonight. We're playing Back to the Future on the front patio. So this year we have a fundraising goal of $6,500 for our Burgers to Beat MS campaign, which is running from July 22nd to August 22nd.
It's a good cause. Yeah, it's something we're going to raise money for. And it's really fun to be doing this with our friends, and especially if it's for a good cause. $5.
We know that unfortunately there's a greater and greater polarization in politics, not just around the world, but in Canada as well. And that's why it's so important that we all stand together in moments like this. We're standing up for human rights, standing up for communities who are marginalized, who continue to suffer a greater degree of hate crimes and intolerance than other communities.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, NDP leader Jagmeet Singh, and Green Party leader Elizabeth May put aside their partisan differences ahead of October's election and marched together at Vancouver's Pride Parade on Sunday, saying Pride celebrations represent the Canadian values of diversity and inclusion. Conservative Party leader Andrew Scheer did not attend the parade.
I am glad to be here walking alongside a number of party leaders, including Jagmeet Singh and Elizabeth May. This is important, that it shows that we are standing unequivocally in favor of human rights, in defense of Canadians. It's just unfortunate that there are still some party leaders who want to be Prime Minister who choose to stand with people who are intolerant instead of standing with the LGBT community. Canadians always need to stand up for human rights. We always need to stand up for each other and celebrate diversity as a strength.
As a nation, Canada has participated in all of the major world conflicts. In the Sioux area alone, over 10,000 men and women have enlisted in the Canadian Armed Forces. The Veterans Commemorative Monument aims to cement the legacy of the Canadian Armed Forces in stone. It will highlight the bravery, strength, courage, and sacrifice of our servicemen and women. In times of need, they volunteered to serve us. Now it is our time to thank and recognize their sacrifice. You can help honor our men and women of service by donating today to help construct this special, one-of-a-kind monument. Visit thosewhoserve.ca to find out how to donate and more.
Since 1899, the Machine Shop has been a unique space for innovation and creativity. Once a leading pulp and paper company, the Machine Shop was built by Francis H. Clerg, which later became part of St. Mary's Paper in 1984. After the closure of St. Mary's Paper in 2011, the Machine Shop spent 4 years vacant. In 2015, the Machine Shop reopened their doors to the community for the first time. From weddings to galas to concerts and festivals, the one-of-a-kind venue has something for everyone. We are proud to work with the community and local nonprofits to host major events such as Festival of Trees, Pearls and Plaid, an evening at Hogwarts, and more. While you're here, wind down at the Mill Steakhouse and Wine Bar for a quiet dining experience, or watch a game and try a wood fire oven pizza and local draft at the Boiler Room. Don't forget to save room for house-made gelato and baked goods at the Gelato Mill. For more information on the Machine Shop events, history, and restaurants, visit machineshopinc.ca. 3 great places, 1 historic venue.
you're not going to be here Thursday, Friday this week?
I will not be here Thursday,
Christina
Friday.
Couture is going to co-host with me. Where are you going?
I'm going to Toronto. Me and the friends are taking a couple of days to go see the sights of Toronto and go hang out down there.
You flying?
Enjoy some food. I'm flying.
Yeah.
What are some things that like I know like I've only flown once before, so like you can bring razors as long as they're like in their cartridges and they're safe. I checked that out. What other sorts of things should I worry about bringing?
You know you can only have like up to 100 ml of liquid.
Okay.
And I don't know.
Can I bring my... No, I can't bring my missile launcher. I know that. Because a man in Washington, Baltimore, International Thurgood Marshall Airport, he tried.
Wait, a guy tried to bring a missile launcher on a plane with him?
On a plane.
Why? Well, where did he want to launch his missiles? Where was he going?
He lives in Jacksonville, and I guess he told me...
Missouri?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I just said Jacksonville. There's a lot of Jacksonvilles, aren't there?
Okay.
There's a couple of them.
So he lives in Jacksonville.
One of the Jacksonvilles. He told officials that he's an active military personnel and he wanted a souvenir.
Was it Michael Jacksonville, Tito Jacksonville, or... Okay, so anyway, Janet Jacksonville. Anyway, he wanted a souvenir from
there
what?
It is.
Oh, what is that?
Well, that's the missile launcher. Now, it's not active, so you can't actually
Where did he get it from? Tell me.
He's active military personnel, so he wanted to bring what he called a souvenir home. And...
Wouldn't that also be like stealing property from the government or something?
I don't know. Maybe he was decommissioned and he was allowed to,
okay,
they caught up to him and they questioned him. Sir, missile launcher, airplane, prompting TSA to say, military weapons are not allowed in checked or carry-on baggage. Thank you for clearing the air on that.
Now
because
you know.
I will leave my rocket launcher at home.
Are you staying in a hotel, Airbnb, what?
I'm staying in an Airbnb.
You are? Mm-hmm. Okay, be careful.
Why?
Because these people from Newfoundland, there's a softball team in Moncton, 13 ladies. They went to Moncton to play softball.
Nice.
They'd saved up. They won the chance to be in this tournament. They saved up from like February. They had fundraisers.
Let's go.
And they got there at 2:30 in the morning on August the 1st, and the house had no air conditioning and no Wi-Fi as promised. Then they discovered renovations, but you don't understand. Like, we're talking buckets of drywall and paint, the furniture not in the room, tarps down, boys. Then on the second day, tarps off. Then they get a knock at the door. Like that, and a lady shows up and she's like, "Are you the new owners?" They're like, "No, we're Airbnb." She's like, "Cool." Then they watched her get in her truck and drive away. It was the NB Power, like Newfoundland or New Brunswick Power. They come home they go to play baseball at 9 in the morning. They come home, the power's gone. No power in the place.
Wow.
They had a week's worth of groceries in their freezer in the fridge. So the neighbors were kind enough to run an extension cord so they could actually have power for their fridge. So then they had to move out for a while. They moved out overnight. I think they went to a hotel or something because it was hard to get places. Then they moved back. Then the owner gets finally contacted. He says power's back on. They move back in. 3 guys knock on the door. "Hi, we're here to move in." They double booked. Can you imagine?
So you're telling me not only I can't bring my missile launcher on my trip, I may also not have power.
And you might have to share with 3 guys.
That are moving in.
And can you imagine no AC though? In the heat of summer. Anyway, just be careful. Be careful with your Airbnbs, folks. Hey, did Josh show up? Anybody know? No. Josh didn't show up. You know what? I wondered about that because it's civic holiday. The Downtown Association office would be closed.
Yeah.
We have a really great interview to show you anyway from the Downtown Association that we ran last week. And if Josh doesn't walk in the door, you'll enjoy that after this.
Coming to get you, Barbara.
Listen to them. Children of the night.
Alive! It's alive!
Welcome to the Machine Shop, our historic venue and gathering place for friends and family. Built in 1899 on the site of a Northwest Company trading post. Today we are a go-to venue hosting many expos, concerts, weddings, and more. While you're here, choose one of our dining experiences. Enjoy a quiet dinner at the Mill Steakhouse and Wine Bar, watch a game in Trywood Fire Oven Pizza and local draft at the Boiler Room, or treat yourself every day to gelato and local coffee at the Gelato Mill. For more information on the Machine Shop, visit machineshopinc.ca.
We are back. Look, they made it. Okay, so lots of people here. I got Kay, and I got John, and I got Josh. And Josh, this is all about digital, what's it called?
Digital Main Street.
I don't know what that means, Josh Ingram. Josh Ingram from the Downtown Association, ladies and gentlemen. Can you tell me what that means?
Digital Main Street is two types of grants that you can get that has been taken care of via the province of Ontario, TABIA, OBIA, which are acronyms that we can talk about later.
Okay.
But really, I'd pass it along to John to give us a rundown. He's the founder of this initiative.
Ooh, John, that sounds like you're important.
Not at all. Only in my own mind.
How long have you been involved with this initiative then?
Actually, we started Digital Main Street, the onset, the genesis of it started about 4 years ago.
Okay.
When it became very clear that traditional Main Street was facing some challenges around the digital world out there. The Amazons were growing exponentially, having an impact on many of the traditional Main Street businesses. So the idea was, what can we do to help small business to sort of overcome that hurdle? And effectively, it was to help drag small business into the 21st century, kicking and screaming, but nonetheless to drag them along. So really, it became clear that bricks and mortar needed some help. So we've moved into a stage of bricks and clicks. So
I like
here
that.
we are. Eh?
Bricks and clicks. You're clever, John.
Well, I don't know. Nightmares. But nonetheless, that was the genesis of the idea, and we got some assistance from the likes of City of Toronto Economic Development, Enterprise Toronto, as well as some of the big players out there like Google and Shopify, who also liked the idea, and they invested some money in us, and we basically developed a platform for this thing called Digital Main Street. We piloted in Toronto, had some wonderful success, and the province was watching us, and eventually they came to us and said, we want you guys to expand this provincially, and with the assistance of the Ontario Association of BI, who are in the best position to go the province-wide, we were very successful in getting a grant to help facilitate that, and that is where Kay's organization comes in.
Yeah. So your position with, it's the initials again are
OBIAA,
which stands for
Ontario Business Improvement Area Association.
That's a mouthful, Kay.
It is a mouthful. That's why we just say OBIA. OBIA and TABIA. So that's how we kind of handle it. But yes, so, and of course TABIA and John are on our board of directors, so we've been working very closely on this, and we're so delighted when the province offered us this Main Street strategy that included the $12 million towards the Digital Main Street.
Whoa.
Yes, it was a bit of a nightmare at first, just from a very small nonprofit budget to this.
Were you shocked?
Yeah.
But encouraged. I think she's still glossing over a little bit every so often.
But really, it's been incredible building a wonderful team that is helping bringing this across the province. So that as Josh mentioned, there's two grant streams. One of them is direct to either municipalities or business improvement areas, aka BIAs. A Made in Ontario legislation, by the way, which is revitalizing downtowns all across the province. Canada,
I didn't know
United
that the
States,
province
everywhere
was
else.
really looking into that as well. That this is, I mean, we know that we've been struggling with this in Sault Ste. Marie, and Josh and the gang have done a great job of sort of moving the downtown forward. But I didn't realize this was a provincial. This is across the board how people are having problems with downtowns. Is that Main streets? Is it?
I wouldn't say they're having problems now.
It's challenges?
The legislation's 50 years old.
No kidding?
The very first one started in Bloor West Village in Toronto. So again, Toronto was a leader here. And now there's 82 BIAs in Toronto alone. So Ottawa would have 18, for instance. Hamilton would have 13. But there are approximately 316 BIAs across the province of Ontario.
Do we have a BIA?
Yes, that's what you are. That's
we
what you are.
The Downtown Association is a business improvement area.
There you go.
Okay, that's right. I'm learning stuff.
So while this isn't a BIA-specific grant program, it can either go to the municipality or it could go to a BIA or a chamber. Basically, the key for the first grant is it's up to $10,000. And once, like Josh applied on behalf of Sault Ste. Marie's downtowns, so he got a grant for $10,000, and what he will do is hire or has hired a digital service squad, and their job is to get into the downtown, make sure that there can be found, the community can be found on something like Google 360, and then as they work with each business, they'll also upload each business onto it. So the very first job of theirs is to make sure that Sault Ste. Marie can be found on the World Wide Web.
Wow.
And then the next step will be to actually to help the small businesses in a whole series of processes created by Digital Main Street. So the next one would be go in and make sure that each business, and we're really focused on the independent business. So the independent business will do an assessment and we'll teach them a little bit about where they are. What do they want to accomplish with their business? What steps should we be taking digitally to help us achieve our personal goals? So it's very customized.
Does this, because it's a grant, does that mean that the recipients of the service do they pay for this, or is this something that?
No, so once the digital service squad is in play, the grant covers all of their costs.
That's fantastic.
So then after they've done the assessment, then there's a number of learning modules they can take. The key is that we want to teach the businesses what they need to look for. Who do they hire? What do they hire if they want to update their website or do their search engine optimization? What is the key things that they need to learn? So we teach them that, and then if they qualify, the small business can also apply for a $2,500 grant in order to help them achieve their goals for their business.
Oh.
It's pretty cool.
Are there deadlines on this, John?
There are. Obviously, the sooner we can get the digital service squads out there, so there are deadlines in terms of that, as well as for the individual businesses. So there is a sunset. Kay administers that side of things, Kay's organization, so she can give you the specific dates. But quite frankly, we've managed to service over 6,000 businesses in Toronto. And once the rollout happens, you can go through things pretty quickly. Many times it takes 1 or 2 visits into a business. You know, the first time around is to do that initial assessment and give them a little bit of time to realize and get a better understanding of what their ultimate goal is. And then a second visit to get them through the process. But I believe March of next year is...
At this point, currently it's March 31st, 2020, done.
There's lots of time to get on board.
Lots of time, but yet the clock is ticking.
Oh, yeah.
So, we really want to encourage our businesses. We want to give the money away.
Josh, how do we get involved if you're a business? And by the way, does it have to be Main Street, or can it be any business in Sault Ste. Marie? Do you have to be a member of the Downtown Association or the Chamber? How does that work?
I believe we're bound to the definitions of downtown in our community.
Okay.
So that's something to consider. So you can call our offices and kind of inquire on where you belong. But in all honesty, we have hired our service squad agents. They are being trained right now. We're going to have boots on the ground either the doldrums of summer or right after Labor Day. So call our office. We'd be happy to sign you up, make sure that we make an appointment with you, head down and figure out what you need so we can service you better, and so that you can apply for that $2,500 for what your specific business needs help with.
So just to clarify, sorry if you don't mind me pushing in there, any business in Sault Ste. Marie can do the assessment and watch the learning modules. Any business can benefit from there. Who can apply for the grant is the Main Street.
I understand
that. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Right,
There's
absolutely.
a benefit to everybody, but the small Main Street business gets the one step
I have a friend actually, and she was just saying she wanted to come on the show. She's a small business owner, has 2 locations in Sault Ste. Marie, and she was saying one of the things that she has to fight against is people buying online. Mm-hmm. And she said, it's to compete with that. It's difficult, especially if you don't have that kind, if you're not computer savvy, and it can be really overwhelming and very daunting for somebody. Or if you're somebody who's had a family business for a number of years, and you're not familiar with how those sorts of things work, right? So this is really set up to help them.
Totally.
Absolutely.
Totally.
That was the identified need.
The genius.
4 years ago, where we started to see that happen. To this day, across the small business sector in this province, about 20% of people don't even have a computer in their businesses, let alone they say they have a website, but you might as well blow the dust off of it because it was done by a nephew 6 or 7 years ago, and it hasn't been kept up, etc. So really, it does come down to the core premise of this is educating Main Street businesses to become digitally savvy, to know who to buy for, what to buy, what their goal is, and ultimately, we all promote shop local, but in this case, it's shop local, sell global.
Shop local, sell global. You're just full of little golden nuggets of wisdom, aren't you? Our time is up, but I want to thank you. Pardon me, Kay. It was so nice meeting you. And John, thank you. Josh, as always, a pleasure to have you on the show. You're coming back on
next
August?
week.
Next week you're back on again to talk about what's going on downtown. Oh, there's always something going on downtown in Sault Ste. Marie. It's fabulous. Thank you very much and congratulations.
Cheers.
And we'll be back with more Mornings with Lou and Tim right after this.
At 4:45, discover all kinds of treasures and never pay more than $5. Inventory is restocked every Saturday, and you can find anything from electronics to household items, toys, and much, much more. On Saturday, everything is $5, and the price goes down throughout the week, ending with 25 cents on Friday. We restock weekly with new items from various big box stores, so you never know what treasures you can find. Come visit us at 4:45, 2510 Ashman Street in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan.
Have a great business idea but don't know where to start? Need help taking your business to the next level? C2C Business Services can be your guide in navigating the path of entrepreneurship, with services ranging from grant funding support, access to service experts, market information, and helping your business adopt new technologies to create and foster a culture of innovation for ongoing success. Call C2C Business Services and let them be your first step in taking your entrepreneurial dreams from concept to commerce. C2C Business Services is a division of the Sault Ste. Marie Innovation Center.
So Josh Ingram, even though I think he forgot. I don't know.
It's a holiday.
I don't. You know what? He's so great, and he's always been here. So I don't know what happened. It could be my fault. But anyway, let me tell you, August the 8th, this coming Thursday, it's the next street party. Woohoo! Street party number 2, from Spring to Dennis Street, 6 p.m. Food vendors, refreshment tents, face painters, yoga demonstrations, live bands, and bouncy castles, all free for the citizens of Sault Ste. Marie. Get downtown, 6 p.m. Thursday the 8th for a street party.
And you know who will be there? KC Security. Thank you for sponsoring our show. That's it for the morning show. 2 seconds, 1 second. See you tomorrow.